Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare states $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're diving deep into a fascinating piece of American history, the 2007 Montana State Quarter. Now, you might think a quarter is just pocket change, but hold on, because this particular Montana quarter is anything but ordinary. If you love coins, or you're just curious about what can make a common coin insanely valuable, you'll want to listen closely. Trust me, this story is going to blow your mind. So, what makes the 2007 Montana quarter so special? First, let's talk about the design. The Montana quarter was part of the popular 50 state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008, celebrating each state's unique heritage. Montana's quarter features a stunning depiction of a majestic snow-capped mountain range, with the famous bison standing proudly in the foreground. This imagery perfectly captures Montana's rugged wilderness and its identity as Big Sky Country. But here's where things get really interesting. Although millions of these quarters were minted and released into circulation, there are some incredibly rare versions of the 2007 Montana quarter that collectors are absolutely wild about. What causes this frenzy? Errors and rarity. Let me explain. Some Montana quarters from 2007 were struck with minting errors. These are mistakes that happen during the production process at the U.S. Mint. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die variety, where parts of the design, like the lettering or the bison's features, appear to be doubled or blurred due to misalignment during the minting process. These errors are like numismatic unicorns, incredibly rare and highly prized. Another error that makes certain Montana quarters exceptionally valuable is the off-center strike. Imagine a coin where the design is noticeably shifted away from the center, causing part of the image or lettering to be cut off. These misstruck coins are a rarity and can command huge premiums because they're so unusual and visually striking. There are also some variants with differences in the metal composition or finish, like proof versions or coins struck on different planchets that are not commonly seen. These subtle differences are like secret codes to coin collectors and can significantly boost the coin's value. Condition also plays a massive role. While a typical Montana quarter you find in your pocket is worth just 25 cents, one in pristine, uncirculated condition with these rare errors can be a totally different story. Coins that have been carefully preserved, showing sharp details and no signs of wear, are the holy grail for collectors. Now, for anyone sitting on a stack of Montana quarters or lucky enough to stumble across one of these rare error coins in excellent condition, here's the thrilling part: such a coin could be worth an incredible $70,000. Yes, $70,000 for a single 2007 Montana quarter. It's amazing to think that a coin we use every day can be transformed into a treasure worth tens of thousands, just because of its rarity, condition, and those special minting quirks. So, if you're a collector or just someone who loves uncovering fascinating stories behind everyday objects, keep an eye out for these rare Montana quarters. They're more than just currency, they're pieces of history, art, and mystery rolled into one small coin. Top 2, we're zooming in on a very special coin from the United States, the 2002 Louisiana State Quarter. Now, you might think a quarter is just pocket change, but this particular coin has a story and value that could blow your mind. So if you're a collector or just curious about rare coins, listen closely, because this video is packed with fascinating details that you don't want to miss. Let's set the scene. The Louisiana Quarter was part of the famous 50 state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. This program was designed to celebrate each state's unique heritage, landmarks, and culture. Louisiana's quarter is instantly recognizable with its iconic imagery, the majestic pelican, which is the state bird, perched protectively over its young. Surrounding the pelican, you see the state motto, Union, Justice, Confidence, symbolizing the pride and values of Louisiana. But what really sets the 2002 Louisiana Quarter apart isn't just its beautiful design. It's the rarity and some extremely rare minting errors that make certain versions of this coin a true prize for collectors. You see, millions of Louisiana quarters were minted, so at first glance, you might think they're pretty common. However, what makes some of these coins incredibly valuable are specific anomalies during the minting process. For example, there are known errors like double die strikes, where the coin's design appears doubled or blurry in places, and off-center strikes, where the design is noticeably shifted from the center. These errors occurred only on a very small number of coins, making them extraordinarily rare. Another rare variation involves differences in the metal composition and the finish of the coin. Some Louisiana quarters were struck on a slightly different planchet or exhibit unusual luster variations. These subtle differences can send collectors into a frenzy because they're like having a one-of-a-kind piece from a mass-produced series. Now, what really excites collectors is the condition of the coin. A Louisiana quarter in circulated condition might be worth just its face value or a little more. But finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially with one of those minting errors, can skyrocket its value. These coins are incredibly hard to come by because most quarters get worn down quickly in everyday use. Collectors are also drawn to the Louisiana Quarter because of its rich symbolism and connection to the state's history and culture. The pelican isn't just any bird, it's a symbol of self-sacrifice and care for the community, reflecting the spirit of Louisiana's people. Owning this coin feels like holding a piece of that heritage. So, what does all this rarity and history translate to in terms of value? Here's the jaw-dropper. If you have a 2002 Louisiana quarter with a significant minting error, and it's in flawless, uncirculated condition, it could be worth an astonishing $76,000. Yes, you heard that right, $76,000 for a single quarter. It's incredible how something so small and seemingly ordinary can hold such immense value, just because of its rarity, condition, and the story behind it. If you're digging through your coin collection or find yourself lucky enough to spot one of these Louisiana quarters, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look, maybe get it appraised by a professional, because you might be holding a numismatic treasure worth a small fortune. Top 3, we're zooming in on a fascinating piece of American history, the 2000 Massachusetts State Quarter. You might think a quarter is just a quarter, but hold tight, because this particular coin has some incredible secrets that can turn it into a collector's goldmine. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just curious about rare coins, listen carefully because what I'm about to share could change the way you see your pocket change forever. Let's start with the basics. The 2000 Massachusetts Quarter was released as part of the wildly popular 50 State Quarters program, a series that ran from 1999 through 2008. The program was designed to celebrate each state's unique history, culture, and symbols. Massachusetts, one of the original 13 colonies, holds a special place in America's story, home to the Boston Tea Party, the American Revolution, and a rich colonial past. The quarter's design beautifully honors this legacy with the image of the Minuteman statue, a symbol of the brave citizen soldiers who fought for American independence. Surrounding the figure are the words, Massachusetts, the year, 2000, and the phrase, Spirit of 76, invoking the revolutionary fervor of 1776. On the surface, it's a stunning coin and a great tribute. But here's where it gets really exciting for collectors. Some 2000 Massachusetts quarters are far from ordinary. Due to rare minting errors and unique variations, a few of these coins have become highly sought after, and highly valuable. If you're a collector or even just curious, this is the kind of information that can make your coin collection explode in value. So, what kind of errors and rarities are we talking about? First, there's the infamous double die error. Imagine the coin's design, letters, numbers, or images, appearing doubled or slightly offset, as if the coin was stamped twice but not perfectly aligned. This doubling creates a ghost-like effect that's unmistakable once you know what to look for. On the Massachusetts Quarter, the double die error might be most noticeable around the lettering or the details of the Minuteman. These errors happened because of a misalignment during the die preparation process at the mint and only affected a tiny fraction of the coins produced. That rarity is exactly why collectors go wild for them. Another prized error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank shifts slightly during the striking process, causing the design to be partially cut off or shifted off-center. The result? A coin that looks like a misprint, with a striking asymmetry that makes it unique. No two off-center coins are the same, so they're like one-of-a-kind minting accidents that collectors absolutely adore. But wait, there's more. Some coins from this batch show differences in metal composition or have a proof-like finish, which is unusual for quarters meant for circulation. These subtle but rare variations can add an additional layer of rarity and desirability. Now, let's talk condition. Condition can make or break a coin's value. A worn-out quarter from 2000 found in your pocket or at the bottom of a drawer might just be worth face value or a little more to a casual collector. But a 2000 Massachusetts quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially with one of these rare errors, is a different story altogether. These coins look almost brand new, with sharp details and that brilliant mint luster intact. They're the holy grail for collectors, and here's the kicker: if you happen to find one of these rare error coins, perfectly preserved and in uncirculated condition, it could be worth an astounding $79,000. Yes, $79,000 for a single 2000 Massachusetts quarter. It's a jaw-dropping number that shows just how powerful rarity, condition, and minting quirks can be in the coin world. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that represents centuries of history, a fascinating minting mistake, and a potential fortune. It's more than just pocket change, it's a tangible piece of America's story and a prized collectible that could change your life. So next time you're sorting through coins, whether it's from your change jar, an old collection, or a lucky find at a flea market, remember to pay special attention to the 2000 Massachusetts quarter. Look closely for doubling in the design, off-center strikes, or an unusual shine. These subtle clues could lead you to a treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. Top 4, we're shining a spotlight on a true gem from the United States Mint, the 2007 Idaho State Quarter. Now, you might think a quarter is just everyday pocket change, but this one has a story, a rarity, and a value that could absolutely surprise you. So if you're a coin collector or just someone curious about what makes some coins skyrocket in worth, you'll want to listen carefully and enjoy this deep dive into the 2007 Idaho Quarter. First, let's explore the design, because it perfectly captures Idaho's unique identity. Released as part of the 50-state quarters program, the 2007 Idaho Quarter showcases the majestic foothills of the Bitterroot Mountains with a soaring peregrine falcon in flight. The falcon symbolizes the state's wild beauty and is a fitting tribute to Idaho's rugged landscapes and rich natural heritage. Surrounding this stunning imagery, you'll see the name Idaho, the year 2007, and the phrase famous potatoes, a nod to one of the state's most iconic exports. But here's where the story gets truly fascinating. While millions of these quarters were minted and circulated, not all are created equal. Some of these Idaho quarters are incredibly rare due to unique minting errors and special characteristics that collectors crave. These variations transform what seems like a common coin into a coveted collectible with the potential for serious value. One of the most exciting and valuable errors found on the 2007 Idaho Quarter is the double die variety. This happens when the coin's design elements, such as the lettering or the falcon itself, appear doubled or shadowed because of a misalignment during the die creation process. These double die coins are scarce, and their visual appeal makes them highly sought after by collectors. Another fascinating error is the off-center strike, where the coin's design is noticeably shifted away from the center, cropping part of the image or text. These misstrikes are unique, no two are exactly alike, and they offer a glimpse into the rare imperfections that occur during minting. Off-center strikes are highly collectible, especially when the misalignment is significant. Some Idaho quarters also show variations in the metal composition or unusual finishes that differentiate them from typical circulation coins. Whether it's a proof-like surface or a slight change in alloy, these subtle differences can significantly impact the coin's rarity and, ultimately, its market value. Of course, condition plays a massive role in determining a coin's worth. While most Idaho quarters you'll find in your pocket or at the store are well circulated and worth face value, those that are preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition can command a much higher price. When you combine perfect condition with a rare error or variation, you're looking at a truly valuable piece. Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. If you happen to own a 2007 Idaho State Quarter that is uncirculated and features one of these rare errors or unique characteristics, it could be worth a jaw-dropping $71,000. That's right, $71,000 for a single quarter. It's incredible to think that such a small coin, often overlooked in everyday transactions, can hold such immense value just because of its rarity, condition, and unique minting quirks. So next time you're digging through your change or exploring a coin collection, keep an eye out for the 2007 Idaho Quarter. Look closely for doubled designs, off-center strikes, or any unusual finishes. You might just be holding a hidden treasure worth a fortune. Top 5. We're turning our spotlight on a true American treasure, the 2001 New York State Quarter. Now, you might think quarters are just everyday change, but trust me, this particular quarter is anything but ordinary. If you're passionate about coins or just love uncovering hidden gems, this video is going to captivate you. So listen closely, because the 2001 New York Quarter has some rare features and interesting quirks that every collector should know about. Let's start by talking about the design. Released as part of the highly popular 50 State Quarters program, the New York Quarter features the iconic Statue of Liberty, standing tall and proud, a universal symbol of freedom and opportunity. Behind Lady Liberty, you can see the outline of the state itself, along with the word New York and the year 2001. This quarter perfectly captures the spirit of New York, the Empire State, which has been a beacon for immigrants and dreamers for centuries. But beyond its beautiful design, this coin has a fascinating story, especially when it comes to its rarity and value. While millions of these quarters were minted and circulated, some rare varieties and errors make certain 2001 New York quarters incredibly valuable to collectors. One of the most exciting variations that collectors seek out is the double die error. This error occurs during the minting process when the coin's design is struck more than once but slightly misaligned, causing a doubling effect on parts of the coin, often visible on the lettering or the statue's features. This double die creates a unique, almost ghost-like image that is highly prized. Coins with this error are extremely rare because most minting errors are caught and corrected early, meaning very few make it into circulation. Another intriguing error that adds to this quarter's allure is the off-center strike. This happens when the blank coin isn't properly aligned during minting, causing the design to be partially off the coin center. The result? A quarter with a shifted or incomplete design, which to some looks like a flaw, but to collectors, it's a fascinating mistake that increases the coin's rarity and value. Then there are the less obvious but equally important variations, such as subtle changes in the metal composition or proof-like finishes. Some quarters were struck on different planchets or have unusual textures that set them apart from the common circulation coins. These differences may seem minor, but in the numismatic world, they make a huge difference. Condition is, as always, critical. The vast majority of 2001 New York quarters you'll find in your change have been handled, worn, and lost their original sharpness. But when a coin is found in perfect, uncirculated condition, with no scratches or wear, its value skyrockets. Pair that pristine condition with a rare error, and you're looking at a coin that's not just currency, it's a coveted collectible and a smart investment. Now, for the part you've all been waiting for, if you are lucky enough to have a 2001 New York quarter with one of these rare mint errors, especially in uncirculated condition, it could be worth an astonishing $75,000. Yes, $75,000 for a single quarter. It's remarkable how a small piece of metal can carry such historical significance and monetary value, simply because of its rarity, condition, and the unique stories behind its production. So next time you're sifting through coins, whether in your own collection or a jar of change, pay close attention to the 2001 New York Quarter. Look carefully for any signs of doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual finishes. You might just discover a hidden treasure worth a small fortune. Top 6. We're diving deep into a coin that represents the Lone Star State, yes, the 2004 Texas State Quarter. You might have seen this coin countless times, but what if I told you that some of these quarters could be worth a staggering amount of money? That's right. Stick around, because this video will reveal the fascinating rarity, minting errors, and collector appeal that make the 2004 Texas Quarter a hidden treasure. Let's begin with the design because it perfectly captures the spirit of Texas. Released as part of the 50 State Quarters program, the 2004 Texas Quarter features the famous Lone Star, symbolizing Texas's proud independence and identity. Alongside the star, you'll see an outline of the state and the year 2004. Simple yet powerful, this design reflects the bold and independent nature Texans are known for. But beneath this everyday look lies a story of rarity and value that few people know about. Millions of these Texas quarters were minted, flooding the market and everyday circulation. So how can one of these common coins be worth thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars? The secret lies in rare mint errors and special variations that occurred during production. These anomalies make certain 2004 Texas quarters some of the most sought-after coins by collectors worldwide. One of the most popular errors collectors look for is the double die error. Imagine a coin where the letters, numbers, or design elements look doubled or shadowed, almost like the coin was stamped twice but slightly misaligned. On the Texas quarter, this can show up in the lettering around the coin or the Lone Star design itself. These double die coins are incredibly rare because the mint usually catches these errors early, so very few make it into circulation. Finding one is like discovering a hidden treasure. Another fascinating minting error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank isn't perfectly aligned during the stamping process, causing part of the design to be cut off or shifted to one side. Off-center coins are unique because no two look exactly alike, and their rarity significantly boosts their value. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more desirable the coin becomes to collectors. There are also other variations that might be less obvious but are equally valuable. Some 2004 Texas quarters have differences in metal composition or unusual finishes that set them apart from the common run-of-the-mill coins. These subtle distinctions might include proof-like surfaces or altered alloys, and they add another layer of exclusivity. Now, condition plays a crucial role in how much these coins are worth. Most Texas quarters in your pocket or change jar show signs of wear and circulation, which greatly diminishes their value. But if you manage to find a coin in perfect, uncirculated condition, with crisp details, sharp edges, and no signs of wear, its value can skyrocket. When you combine a rare error with mint condition, you have a coin that collectors will fight over. So, what's the potential value of a rare, error-filled, and pristine 2004 Texas quarter? Brace yourself, such a coin can be worth an astonishing $73,000, yes, $73,000 for a single Texas quarter. It's mind-blowing to think that a coin so small and common can carry such a significant price tag simply because of its rarity and condition. So next time you're sorting through coins or digging into an old collection, pay special attention to the 2004 Texas quarter. Look closely for any doubled letters, off-center designs, or unusual finishes. You could be holding a valuable piece of history and wealth right in your hands. Top 7 and last rare coin, we're zooming in on the 2006 Colorado State Quarter, a coin that holds much more than meets the eye. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just curious about what makes some coins incredibly valuable, this video is packed with details you don't want to miss. So grab a comfy seat, listen closely, and enjoy as we explore the rarity, unique features, and value of the 2006 Colorado Quarter. Let's start with the coin's design, which truly celebrates the breathtaking beauty and spirit of Colorado. Released as part of the United States Mint's 50 State Quarters program, the Colorado Quarter showcases a magnificent depiction of the Rocky Mountains, an enduring symbol of the state's natural grandeur. In the foreground, you'll spot an evergreen tree, symbolizing the state's vast forests and wilderness. The inscriptions read, Colorado, 1876, marking the year Colorado became a state, and, of course, 2006, the year this quarter was minted. This design perfectly captures the rugged and scenic essence of the centennial state. At first glance, this quarter may seem like any other, but among the millions produced, there are some incredibly rare varieties and minting errors that can make certain examples extremely valuable and highly sought after by collectors worldwide. One of the most exciting features to look for on a 2006 Colorado Quarter is the presence of double die errors. This occurs when the coin is struck more than once during the minting process but slightly misaligned, causing certain design elements, like the lettering or the mountains, to appear doubled or shadowed. These double die coins are fascinating because they are unintentional mistakes that create a one-of-a-kind look, making them prized among numismatists. If you find a Colorado Quarter with clear doubling, you might be holding a rare piece worth far more than its face value. Another error that can significantly boost a quarter's worth is an off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank isn't perfectly aligned under the stamping dies, resulting in a coin where part of the design is cut off or shifted toward one side. These off-center coins are unique because no two misstrikes look exactly alike, and the more dramatic the off-center strike, the more collectors are willing to pay. For the 2006 Colorado Quarter, such errors are especially rare and can fetch premium prices. In addition to these well-known errors, there are also subtle variations in metal composition and mint finishes that can affect a quarter's value. Some coins were struck on different planchets or possess unusual surface textures, such as proof-like finishes, that differentiate them from the regular circulation coins. These nuances make certain Colorado quarters even more desirable for collectors aiming to own something truly distinctive. Of course, condition plays a critical role in determining a coin's value. Most Colorado quarters you find in your pocket have been handled, scratched, and worn down over time, which reduces their market price significantly. But when you discover one in pristine, uncirculated condition, where every detail is sharp, the luster intact, and free of any damage, you're looking at a coin that's ready to command top dollar. Combine that with a rare mint error or unusual variant, and you've got a collector's dream. Now, here comes the exciting part you've been waiting for. If you own a 2006 Colorado Quarter in perfect, uncirculated condition featuring a rare double die error, off-center strike, or unique finish, that coin could be worth an astonishing $73,000. Yes, $73,000 for a single quarter. It's amazing to think that something so small and common can be transformed into a treasure worth tens of thousands, all because of its rarity, condition, and unique minting story. So next time you're sorting through coins, whether from a jar, a collection, or a dealer, pay close attention to the 2006 Colorado Quarter. Look carefully for any signs of doubling in the letters or mountains, off-center images, or unusual finishes. You might just have a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. Thanks so much for tuning in and joining me on this detailed exploration of the 2006 Colorado State Quarter. If you found this video interesting and want to keep learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an exciting coin discovery. Until next time, keep collecting, keep hunting, and happy treasure hunting.